Welcome to today's show with Phil. There's a breaking news right now being reported on one of my local TV station's website called KView 24. It's out of Austin, Texas. Breaking news. All right, the 15-year-old that was abducted and rescued from Oklahoma City with those people that I mentioned in my previous video on when I called out the Dallas Police Department for not doing an investigation. There's a breaking story. They just confirmed it that she has been, well, what do you call human-to-human interaction against their own will? I'm not going to give out the name since it's graphic in nature. So we're going to go ahead and dig right into it, shall we? We are going to dig right in it. And I'm going to get you the story right now. It is purely graphic. It's purely graphic right now. I am doing a video and I'm going to go up. I'm going to follow this story until the very end. 15-year-old kidnapped, taken to Oklahoma City by human trafficking. All right. It's real. I'm sorry for harping about it. I'm sorry for just bringing the situation up to light because everybody needs to know what is going on. The missing Dallas girl found in Arlington believed to have been sex trafficked. Family says, I don't know what the attorney is going to say. I'm just going to do a story on this. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring it up, okay? There's the webpage. I have called out the Dallas Police Department for failure to investigate. So they used the penal code in the Texas Constitution to back out of the investigation. Dallas Police Department, if you're watching my video, if you're watching this broadcast, Dallas Police and the DA of Tarrant County, if you're watching this, if this was your daughter, would you want the other police departments to list her as a runaway? Huh? I'm sorry to burst your little ego in your good old boy system. Had that been your great-granddaughter and she was humanly, sex trafficked, or your great-great-great-granddaughter, would you allow it and would you just say, she's just a runaway? I'm sorry for rubbing salt in your egos. I am intending to wake the police departments up to smell the freaking coffee. I'm here to wake them up and smell the coffee. I'm here to demand police department transparency, accountability, and to dedicate it to their three primary slogans: protecting and to serve the public that they are elected to the jobs that they're supposed to do. You're supposed to uphold and sworn to the Constitution. You will protect, to serve, and uphold the rule of law. We are not a democracy. Anybody can put anything in the online to make everybody say it's true. Let me tell you something. Free-thinking individuals are clearly people you don't want to mess with. Now, back to the story about the missing Dallas girl found in Arlington that was trafficked to Oklahoma City. So I pray to God they get the rape kit, the DNA, and the airtight confessions, alibi, affidavits. But the thing is, we need a one court system to serve all. From the celebrities to the CEOs to the politicians to everybody across the board. We need one judicial system that serves all. But here in the United States, we have a two-tier court system. One for the wealthy and one for the poor. I feel bad for the one for the poor because they throw the books at those. Back to the story about the girl, 15-year-old girl, reported missing on April 27th. Her mother said she was treated at a hospital. So they did a rape kit. So, okay, well, let's listen to what the news anchor said.
Here's a song about a brawny paper towel. When a little Van Gogh draws on your door, or a little bit of dew drops from your small...
Brendetta McDonald hadn't seen her daughter in 24 days.
I received a phone call about 6.
Arlington police confirm at about 5:50 Saturday morning, the 15-year-old walked into one of its substations and told them who she was.
They said, well, we have your daughter.
She immediately went to the hospital to see her.
We just walked in and just hugged each other for about 30 minutes, just held each other. And I just told her how much I love her and miss her.
When I spoke with McDonald and victim advocate Tanya Stafford hours later, the teen had just finished an exam with a sexual assault nurse examiner.
She was forced into a lot of things that she shouldn't have had to endure.
Mom says she couldn't stand to hear the details, so Stafford sat in for the report and exam.
It's horrific, the things that she's endured.
Stafford says the girl says she was physically and sexually abused repeatedly. She also says the girl confirmed she was sold.
What she has described and the things that she has endured, it was sex trafficking.
She went missing on April 27th. McDonald said she'd been scolded for getting in trouble at school and walked out of their apartment building on Commerce Street in downtown Dallas. When McDonald reported her missing to DPD, she was told her daughter was a runaway, one of about 70 the department was investigating.
They were pretty much, we're short-staffed. It's 6 detectives.
DPD labeled the teen as critical missing on May 12th, 2 weeks after.
Oh, wow. Dallas police decided to report her missing. Wow. Dallas police force and DA, the criminal prosecuting department. If this was your granddaughter, I'm sorry to pause the video. If this was your granddaughter or your son that described the details, and you failed to investigate, not only you failed the victim, you failed the family, and you also failed the police department code of ethics. I'm going to continue on playing this video.
After she disappeared. On Saturday, the department would only confirm she was found and that the investigation is ongoing.
She didn't know these people. She did not run away. She did not turn herself in. She escaped.
They are grateful she is safe, but the road forward is long.
For you not to be able to protect your child, it's hard.
She's going to get the best care that we could offer her. And we start the healing process.
So, to the McDonald family, as a Texan native and a a fellow YouTuber. I'm going to keep you and the family in prayers. The road to recovery is going to be long. The 15-year-old is going to eventually become an adult in the eyes of Texas law in the next 5 years. No, or 3 years. And she's going to have trust issues. And trust me, I know what I'm saying is the truth. She's going to have trust issues. It's going to have to take a very, very special man to, help her through this ordeal. And to the Dallas Police Department in Tarrant County, I just want to ask you, how can y'all sleep at night? How can you sleep? Really? I don't care what color the person's skin is. The person could be purple, polka dotted, orange, green, blue, yellow, or whatever the case may be. There's one race that really matters. It's the human race. And there is a group of lives that matter. That is all lives matter. Get it? Now to the Dallas Police Department, I'm sorry for beating you up on my video. Sorry for calling y'all out, but you know what? Somebody's got to do it. And I'll be glad to be the one to do it. I'll be glad to want to be able to call you out. Oh, well, we're short-staffed. Well, hey, everybody's short-staffed. And listen, we got work to do. Got lives to save. We got lives to save. We got people to make impact on. And listen, I'm trying not to go hard on you. But just do your damn job. Alright? Do your job that you're hired to do. And I will be getting in touch with the lawmakers and repealing that one little penal code that police departments use to get out of investigating things. Alright? I will promise you, I will do whatever it takes to get that law repealed. Human trafficking is alive. Human trafficking is real. It's all being done under our noses by the hand of politicians and CEOs at different islands like Epstein Einstein or whatever Epstein's Island. Well, it's going at Bohemian Grove in California. Call me nutcase, call me conspiracy theorist, whatever. I'm calling it out. I'm calling it out. People need to hear this. People need to get their heads out of the sand, clean their face, and see what's happening around them. All right, back to the story. This was updated on May 22nd, 2022 at 6:09 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Author with WFAA staff Morgan Young contributing to the story. 15-year-old Dallas girl who has been missing since April 27th been found by police Saturday in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma. People from Oklahoma City in the police department there, I applaud your efforts in not taking this very lightly. You did the job that the other police departments here in Texas, down south from you, should have done. It's time to get out of that good old boy system. It's time to get out of that crap. Human trafficking is real. What are you going to do? You're going to sit there and just turn a deaf ear to the victims? I hope not. Midterms are coming up for election. If your name's on the ballot, you might get skipped, and someone else will take your job. Be careful. All right, Brendetta McDonald, girl's mother, said there's a rally scheduled for Saturday afternoon to support the continued efforts and to find her. When her phone rang early Saturday morning, she thought it was someone calling about the event. I received a call around 6, McDonald said. They said, we have your daughter. That's from Oklahoma City. And sorry about that. I don't know what just exactly happens. Anyways, the call was from the Arlington Police. The department confirmed to WFAA that a missing teen went into one of the substations around 5:50 a.m. and identified herself to the officers. McDonald said she was taken to a medical city, Arlington, before transported to Children's Hospital in Dallas. She's received the exam from a sexual assault nurse examiner. Well, they did a rape kit, all right? So they got the DNA. If the perpetrator left the DNA, which is highly likely. Technology has came a long ways, everybody. So she said she was forced into a lot of things she should not have been should not have to endure. McDonald said. All right, McDonald said her hair was dyed and she lost weight. Well, what else to what else to expect from a victim? She lost her self-confidence, self-esteem, self-motivation, self-care. She lost a lot of things. And she said she couldn't stand to be in a room and hear her daughter go through the process of being examined for a sexual assault, aka rape. So, when is a 15-year-old classified as a runaway with rape? Dallas PD? When is it? Please explain this to me. Tanya Stafford, a victim advocate whose organization rescues and provides healing resources for human trafficking survivors, sat by the teen's side. Stafford has been helping Ms. McDonald look for her daughter. Tanya Stafford and the people at the organization, I applaud you for your effort. And I'm going to make sure your effort is acknowledged and shall not go in vain. This human trafficking is a serious issue across the board in the United States. As a Texas native, I applaud you for your effort. And I'm going to go ahead and continue. I sit through a lot of those and never gets any easier, especially when it's pertaining to a child, Stafford said. Stafford, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But did you also know this is part of the Communist Manifesto? Corrupt the youth? So yeah, anybody who's advocating communism or socialism, yeah, this is what they advocate. And Russia lived through 70 plus years of communism. And Marxism is a very sick ideology invented by Karl Marx, the father of communism. It's a very sick ideology. Anybody who supports any ideologies to harm children, please do us a favor. Go seek go seek therapy. You're going to need it. And Stafford said she can't share many of the details from team as they were being investigated, but she confirmed that the teen was physically and sexually abused repeatedly. She was confirmed that she was a sex trafficker. Dallas Police Department. How in the world did you want to go in the penal code, in the Constitution, pull that particular thing out and not do your job? And finally, one of your officers said she went missing on April 27th, but you don't want to investigate. You want to declare her and run away. I'm sorry, Dallas Police. It is your job to get out there and investigate this. McDonald says she's been scolded after getting in trouble at school and left her downtown Dallas apartment building. I figured she'd be going to get herself together, McDonald told FFAA in a previous interview. I never thought she would disappear. This isn't her. McDonald said she called Dallas police that evening. She was told her daughter was considered a runaway because she left willingly. Really? Really? Oh my God. You know what, Dallas Police Department? I think it's time for you to get everybody in your department, all divisions, and go back to square one and start doing your job effectively. Just because a 15-year-old leaves her apartment or wherever she lives at willingly does not make her a runaway. And if she disappears, and you're going to just list her as a runaway, right? I personally think that's a cop-out. All right? You need to get your all of your divisions together and start back from square one, getting rid of the good old boy system. It's time to get rid of it. It's time to go back to square one. It's time for accountability on all divisions, including the 911 dispatch. It's time for everyone. And 2 weeks later, on May 12th, Dallas Police Department later labeled her as critical missing. So you mean to tell me, Dallas Police Department, it took 2 weeks, 14 days to declare her critical missing after you said she was a runaway? 14 days while that poor girl endured being raped back to back each day, being physically abused each day by these suspects that were arrested. Dallas Police Department, how can you sleep at night? So I'm calling for the police departments to be wrapped up together, start back from square one, retrained, get rid of the good old boy system, and go back to the fundamental basics. Do your damn job. And yes, being a police officer is tough work. You don't know if you're going to get to come home. That is a risk everybody takes when they go to work. Some make it home okay, some don't. And that is a risk everybody has to take. Everybody, man, woman, and of course, minors and children. All right. 2 weeks later, May 12th, Dallas Police Department labeled her critical missing. McDonald has been placing flyers across Dallas and posting her daughter's photos on a variety of social media sites. She said she received numbers of tips about sightings of his daughter around downtown southern Dallas. She even saw a photo of her daughter on surveillance footage near a building, an area where her daughter was last seen. To Mrs. McDonald, as a mother, I'm very sorry that you saw that on surveillance. But I promise you, the people that have been arrested for this part will have their day in court, and that surveillance will be used to put them away for life, hopefully. Hopefully for life. McDonald said she also saw her daughter on camera with multiple adult men. And on Saturday, Dallas Police Department only confirmed that a team was found that an investigation is ongoing. Dallas Police Department, I certainly hope it's ongoing. It's time to get your whole departments of everything in that Dallas Police Department, all of them, back to square one and doing your damn job. And I'm glad it's ongoing. All right? At least you're showing me a little effort in this, according to the story. The department would not confirm. Really? Dallas PD. How come Oklahoma City Police Department said she was a missing victim from the Dallas basketball game? You cannot confirm that? Really? I got one. If a hornet comes and stings me on the forehead, and I go to the ER at a hospital, they see a spot on my forehead where I got stung, but the doctor says they cannot confirm that it was a hornet that stung me. That is exactly what I'm labeling your comment as. Really? Come on. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out. The case is being investigated as a human trafficking case. The department would not confirm whether the case is being investigated as a human trafficking case. Oh my, it's doing my head in. This is doing my head in. The city of Dallas, the city council of Dallas, I personally think it's time to fire everybody in the Dallas Police Department and start all over with a new staff and tell them you do your job or you get fired. It's simple as that. After speaking with the teen, Stafford said her story is not the story of a runaway. Even Stafford, the victim advocate, said herself it's not a story of a runaway, and I believe it. She said the girl was snatched. She was snatched up. She did not walk out, but was to cool off, Stafford said. But she walked into the hands of a trafficker. They weren't just waiting on her. They were waiting on anybody. She happened to be the one. She did not run away. She did not turn herself in. She escaped because she was ready. She was trying. She had been trying to get away. Stafford organization is going to be okay. Will now work with McDonald and her daughter to trauma-informed care to help with the recovery process. Stafford said the journey is going to be long, but they will make it through. Yes, I agree. It is going to be okay. It's going to be the organization I'm dedicating this broadcast to. I applaud everybody who works at the organization, and I encourage anyone who support the victims trauma unit to help with the facilitate the recovery process. This is going to be a long road. and she's going to get the best care that we can offer her, and we're going to start the healing process. Stafford said she's pretty resilient, so she will heal from this as well. To the victim, to the McDonald's victim, just remember, you are not forgotten. You're speaking of on my show. Your name will not be revealed because I don't want any sickos even thinking about having a second go at this. For, they should be dealt with legally. If you know what I'm saying. The article that I read is from the KView 24 News. This is my face on YouTube. And today's show with Phil is from Texas. I want to clearly say to the victim that your voice is not, you are not forgotten. And also to the other victims, you are not forgotten, be you male or female. And this story I did I'm trying to touch as many lives as possible. And I am going to vigorously demand that Dallas Police Department all be fired and rehired with new qualified people to start all over from scratch and with a basic fundamentals to protect all people. Yeah, we got bad guys out there, but to me, any person employed by the police department should be interviewed whether they should have their job or not. And I am telling this story to bring awareness to human trafficking. Can this happen to your own family member or colleague? My question is, or my answer is, yes, it can happen. It can happen at any given time, any given moment, in any given place. And it's a worldwide problem. Okay. I want to say thank you for watching this video. And remember, police departments that don't do their jobs in stopping this, you will be called out. And I promise you, it ain't going to be pretty. It ain't going to be pretty. I am going to call the police department who refuses to investigate human trafficking. I'm going to call them out. I am going to call them out. I'm serious. And it's a worldwide problem. It needs to stop. You have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or wherever you're located on this planet. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Peace out.